Well, hello again. It's time for the composer of the month. Last month we talked about Johann Sebastian Bach, and this month we'll be learning about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, who was the musical genius of the mid-1700s. Professor Hutchinsteen, ha 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 ha. Anywho, we've got a few jokes for you before we get started. You see, Mozart was known as the musical prodigy, and he started training around age 3, before I was even potty trained, right? Hey, speaking of jokes, hey, you know why Mozart couldn't afford a piano? He was Baroque. Well, actually, he was a classical composer, but it works good for the joke, saying he was Baroque. You know what they always say? If it's not Baroque, don't fix it. Why did Mozart kill all his chickens? When he asked the chickens who was the best composer, they all replied, Bach, 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 Bach. Okay, I'm going to take you guys on a short journey surrounding the life of Mozart. He was actually a musical genius and started performing in public around age 6. Let's take a look at this town of Salzburg, Austria, where he was born. It looks like a quiet town similar to Fort Branch, Hauptstadt. Of course, there weren't cars or electricity in the time of Mozart.
Hauptstadt or Fort Branch? Are you kidding me? We don't have churches like that in Fort Branch or Hauptstadt. Those things are hundreds of years old. Ooh, look at that palace. I saw that last week over at Fort Branch. Don't think so, Hutchinson. Haven't seen that. I don't know of anywhere that has that.
One of Mozart's many tours of Europe, he went to London around the age of 6 and actually met one of Bach's sons. This Big Ben clock here wasn't around until 1859. But anywho, a lot of these things that we're seeing in the picture were around then as well. London certainly was a tourist destination back in Mozart's day, and a place that brought many musicians and performers from Europe.
Ooh, I like London. Ooh, I like that clock.
Their next stop on the tour was Paris, France. The Eiffel Tower wasn't around either, but Paris has been a cultural hotspot for hundreds of years, and we will learn about several composers from Paris in another lesson.
Ooh, why is that tower in the picture?
Not only were Bach and Mozart two of the biggest rock star musicians, but something important happened after Bach died. No, it wasn't the ghost of Bach. It was the invention of the piano, which was originally called piano forte.
I like piano. I like to play piano.
Take a look at this picture of the original piano. That thing looks like a piece of junk. And we actually sent a nicer piano than that down to the gym storage room this year to get it out of the way, to spread out for coronavirus. It wasn't until this invention of the piano where musicians were able to be a lot more expressive with their playing. You see, no matter how hard they pressed the keys on the organ or harpsichord, they were still the same volume level. And now with the piano, they can depress the key harder, which creates a louder sound, making it much more expressive with the music.
Ooh, I like to play a key. Can I
From that
play?
point forward, pianos have just improved their construction to the point of the grand pianos that we're seeing today. Take a look at these. Obviously, they're much nicer than that hunk of junk that was originally called the piano forte, which would have been something that Mozart or Beethoven probably played and composed on. These are some of the pianos that you may see in churches or some of the concerts that you're seeing today.
Ooh, I like to play this one. Can I play this one?
Let's take our final stop on today's video and take you to Vienna, Austria. This is where Mozart lived the rest of his life as a freelance musician and music teacher. I was actually fortunate enough to travel to Vienna during college, and I have visited and walked a lot of these same places that Mozart spent his life. In these pictures that we're looking at, Mozart actually became friends with Haydn, another famous composer, despite his immature, childlike attitude, and apparently had some personal issues, but they actually became friends and even composed a piece of music for Haydn.
Personal issues? What kind of personal issues? I don't have any personal issues. What about you, Hutchinson? Do you have personal issues? I'm a very nice person.
So Mozart and Haydn actually became friends and even composed some music for Haydn before Mozart died at a fairly young age. He was composing music all the way up until his deathbed, and a composer named Salieri apparently helped him finish his final work just after he died.
Is that a restaurant? I'm hungry.
Let's go ahead and take a listen to our good friends down at Classics for Kids, and they're going to show us a few more things about the life of Mozart. Enjoy.